You gotta laugh. NASA plans on crashing the International Space Station into the sea. We already know all your spacewalks are underwater anyway. The mockery from these people is off the charts. Let me just quick read. NASA plans to take the International Space Station out of orbit in January 2031 by crashing it into the spacecraft cemetery. The space agency has targeted the most remote point of the ocean to crash land the space station when its time finally comes. After that, NASA plans to buy time for its astronauts on commercial space stations. And of course, we've looked at this private sector, if you like, SpaceX and Blue Origin, and we've seen they're funded by the American government anyway. So, of course, we know all of this is a charade. But it got me thinking and got me going back in time, looking at the Mir and bits and pieces like that. And it's kind of led me in a certain direction. But let me just show you where this Point Nemo, this graveyard, is. Down here, supposedly, we've got the Mir, where that supposedly crashed and burnt up in 2001. I say supposedly, I don't doubt something that was in the sky, but I can assure you it wasn't a giant space station deorbiting a scientifically impossible ball. And then, of course, we've got the ISS, but the Point Nemo is right down here, of course, out the way, really. I mean, maybe convenient enough to get some footage from sort of South America there that will be similar to the Mirs that we've seen. But like I said, this kind of has sent me off back in time, strangely enough, looking at the Mir. Now we're going to look at the Mir coming in, supposedly deorbiting. But when I look at the footage, I see something else. I don't see a space station deorbiting a scientifically impossible ball, obviously. I see something else. But let's have a look at the footage. I want you to take note. You've got what appears to be four missiles, I'm going to say it, two each side, and one in the middle which appears bigger. So you've got two what looks like missiles, one side, this side closest to us, a bigger one in the middle, and two the other side. Let's just come back. Yeah, five, okay? Four the same and one different. So one of them might have burnt up now. Let's just come back once more just to confirm it was five. Yep, definitely five. 2, 4 the same, and one in the middle a bit different, a bit bigger. So we've got five supposed debris pieces, but what I think that is missiles from the MiG-31. Bear with me. Now the MiG-31 is a high altitude interceptor aircraft that's been around since the 70s. I think it's been in service since the early 80s. I just want to go down to specifications here. Where are we? So I want service ceiling height, which should be here. Service ceiling height, so 82,000 feet. So this bad boy can actually fly to the same heights or possibly a little bit higher than the U-2 spy plane. The only difference is the U-2 spy plane, of course, is a spy plane. This is an attack or interceptor aircraft where it can go air to air or air to ground, as we're about to see as we look at its armaments. When we look at the armaments, we're only interested in air to surface. And when we go to the air to surface missile capabilities of this high altitude plane that flies at 82,000 feet that came into surface before the Mir crashed down. And of course, when we looked at the footage of the Mir, the so-called space debris, we had four bits the same and one different bit of debris. And then I look at the air-to-surface missile configuration. You've got the capability of four of the same, in this case they're quoting anti-radiation missiles, and one hypersonic air-launched ballistic missile. 4 plus 1 equals 5. Four the same and one different. And that's exactly what we saw in the Mir so-called deorbit footage. 5 bits of debris, 4 the same, 1 different. So I think this bad boy was responsible for what we think, or what is cited as the Mir space station deorbiting. I think was 5 missiles fired from this aircraft at high altitude, conveniently caught on film by someone. So that's what I think's going on here with the Mir station. Bear with me. So now we know the MiG-31 flies at 82,000 feet and has a configuration of air-to-ground missiles that gives it 4 of the same missile and 1 of a different type. Let's just quickly look at this footage again. 4 of one and 1 in the middle. It's almost like they've 2 each side have come off the wing of a high-altitude aircraft and the 1 in the middle's come off the belly of a high-altitude aircraft. Who would have thought? And as we can see from underneath the MiG-31, 2 on each wing. All it would require is to fire the shots from the wing, and of course 1 from under the belly. And you've got what looks like the Mir space station deorbiting. Dear oh dear. And of course for America, they haven't got the MiG-31. They've got the Raptor. The Raptor flies at 65,000 feet. Not quite as high as the MiG-31, but of course the Raptor will be able to do the job for the so-called International Space Station when it comes down. And no doubt the space debris from the International Space Station will match the configuration of the underside of the Raptor aircraft, i.e. the missile configuration will no doubt match the space debris configuration.